I am reading from To Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 9, where Atticus and Uncle Jack are discussing the upcoming trial and how Atticus is setting up how this is going to affect the town and his kids. Atticus, how bad is this going to be? You haven't had too much chance to discuss it. It couldn't be worse, Jack. The only thing we've got is a black man's word against the Ools. The evidence boils down to you did, I didn't. The jury couldn't possibly be expected to take Tom Robinson's word against the Ools. Are you acquainted with the Ools? Uncle Jack said yes, he remembered them. He described them to Atticus, but Atticus said, "You're a generation off. The present ones are the same, though." What are you going to do, then? Before I'm through, I intend to jar the jury a bit. I think we'll have a reasonable chance on appeal, though. I really can't tell at this stage, Jack. You know, I'd hoped to get through life without a case of this kind, but John Taylor pointed at me and said, "You're it. Let this cup pass from you, eh?" Right. Do you think I could face my children otherwise? You know what's going to happen as well as I do, Jack, and I hope and pray I can get Jem and Scout through it without bitterness, and most of all, without catching Maycomb's usual disease. Why reasonable people go stark raving mad when anything involving a Negro comes up is something I don't pretend to understand. I just hope that Jem and Scout come to me for their answers instead of listening to the town. I hope they trust me enough. Jean Louise. My scalp jumped. I struck my head around the corner. "Sir, go to bed." I scurried to my room and went to bed. Uncle Jack was a prince of a fellow not to let me down, but I never figured out how Atticus knew I was listening. And it was not until many years later that I realized he wanted me to hear every word he said. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee has been challenged since the 1970s, all the way up until the 2003-2011. This book is constantly challenged for being full of racism and offensive language, but I think that this book is a representation of our history. Americans have been racist, and there has been a time when we have been offensive and racist and institutionalized those things into our children and into our towns. And I think that this is an important commentary on a part of history of America, and we can't move on in our own history now without recognizing it. To ban To Kill a Mockingbird would be to ban a part of what it is to be American.
That was